Ever wondered if it's possible to use the fiery fury of a volcano to dispose of our ever-growing mountains of trash? Volcanoes, unforgiving natural phenomena, have long captured our imaginations with their raw, destructive power. These molten behemoths are capable of reducing anything that dares to venture into their fiery belly into nothingness. Now imagine hypothetically if we were to harness this power for something practical, say, waste disposal. Quite an intriguing thought, isn't it? Our planet is grappling with an ever-increasing waste problem. Could these fiery furnaces of nature be the answer to our trash troubles? Could we toss our rubbish into their blazing pits and watch it vanish in a puff of smoke? Could we turn these agents of destruction into our own personal waste disposal units? Seems like a simple and effective solution, right? Well, let's dive into the complexities of this idea. What would happen if we dumped our trash into volcanoes? Let's explore. Before we start loading up the garbage trucks, we need to consider the logistics and challenges involved. Volcanoes are nature's way of expressing its wrath, a testament to the raw, unbridled power that lies beneath the Earth's surface. They are not just dangerous, they are uncontrollably volatile environments. Trying to use them as garbage dumps could be like playing with fire, literally. Imagine attempting to approach an active volcano, one that's bubbling with a molten lava lake ready to dispose of a truckload of trash. The heat alone would be unbearable, not to mention the toxic gases that volcanoes emit, such as sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide. These gases are not only harmful to humans but can also damage equipment and vehicles. And then there's the issue of finding a suitable active volcano. Yes, you heard that right, not all volcanoes are created equal. To safely dispose of our trash, we would need a volcano with a persistent lava lake. These are incredibly rare. Of the approximately 1,500 active volcanoes on Earth, only a handful, about 8 to be precise, have lava lakes. But even if we manage to find a suitable volcano, there's another problem. Most of these volcanoes with lava lakes are located in remote and inaccessible areas such as the Maram volcano in Vanuatu or the Erta Ale in Ethiopia. Transporting trash to these locations would be a logistical nightmare. And let's not forget about the unpredictability of volcanoes. Their activity can change in an instant, turning a seemingly calm lava lake into a violent, explosive force of nature. One wrong move, and we could be triggering a catastrophic volcanic eruption. So, finding the right volcano is not as easy as it might seem. In fact, it's a perilous endeavor fraught with challenges. The dangers and instability of volcanoes, the difficulty in finding suitable active volcanoes, and the logistical hurdles all make this an impractical solution for our global waste problem. Assuming we could find an active volcano, what kind of volcano would we need? Well, not just any volcano would do. For this seemingly outlandish task, we'd need a shield volcano. These are the gentle giants of the volcano world, with broad, low profiles and effusive eruptions. Unlike their more explosive counterparts, shield volcanoes gently ooze lava, creating a relatively stable and accessible lava lake. Now you might be thinking, great, let's find one and start the cleanup. But here's the catch. Shield volcanoes are quite rare. The majority of Earth's volcanoes are of the explosive kind, like stratovolcanoes, which are not suitable for our purpose due to their unpredictable and violent nature. So, the search for the right volcano might be tougher than you'd think. We're essentially looking for a needle in a haystack. But let's say we hit the jackpot and find the perfect shield volcano. Well, even if we find the right volcano, that's just the start of our problems. Now imagine we've located our perfect volcano and we're ready to dump. What could possibly go wrong? Well, let's start with the obvious. Volcanoes are not exactly user-friendly environments. They're treacherous, unpredictable, and downright dangerous. The vents, for instance, are often located in extremely challenging terrain. Getting to them with tons of trash would be a logistical nightmare, not to mention the hazards faced by the teams tasked with this Herculean endeavor. Then there's the question of what happens when trash meets molten lava. You might imagine a peaceful descent into the fiery depths, but the reality could be far more explosive. You see, when you drop something into a lava lake, you're effectively puncturing its surface. This can cause a rapid release of gas, leading to explosive reactions. This isn't just an issue of safety, it could also have catastrophic implications for the equipment and infrastructure needed for trash disposal. But let's say we manage to avoid a volcanic eruption. We're still not in the clear. Burning trash, even in the heart of a volcano, comes with a significant environmental cost. The combustion process releases harmful pollutants into the atmosphere, including carbon dioxide, a major contributor to climate change. Other toxins, like mercury and dioxins, can also be released, posing serious threats to both human health and the environment. Not to mention, not all materials break down completely in lava. Some, like metals and glass, could potentially survive the inferno, leading to contamination of the lava itself. And if the lava were to eventually flow out of the volcano, these contaminants could be spread far and wide. Lastly, there's the issue of scale. Even if we could overcome all these challenges, there's simply too much trash for volcanoes to handle. With billions of tons of waste generated every year, we'd quickly run out of suitable volcanoes. The risks and dangers of this method are starting to pile up, aren't they? Indeed, as we delve deeper into this hypothetical scenario, it becomes increasingly clear that dumping our trash into volcanoes is not the magic bullet solution we might have hoped for. Aside from the direct dangers, we also need to consider the wider environmental impacts. Picture this: you're burning trash, but without any filters. The result? A cocktail of harmful gases released into the atmosphere. We're talking about carbon dioxide, dioxins, and furans, to name a few. These gases not only contribute to global warming but can also cause serious health issues. What's more, not all trash will break down completely in lava. Some materials, especially metals and glass, might resist the intense heat. They could end up floating on the surface of the lava lake, creating a new kind of pollution. Even worse, the lava might not be hot enough to incinerate all the harmful chemicals in our waste. These chemicals could then seep into the ground and contaminate our water sources. So, instead of solving our waste problem, we're just moving it from our backyards to our drinking water. Clearly, the environmental costs could be far greater than any potential benefits. Since dumping trash into volcanoes is fraught with challenges and dangers, what are our other options? Let's investigate some viable alternatives that are safer and more practical than using volcanoes. Firstly, we could consider the method of waste incineration for energy generation. Incineration is a waste treatment process that involves the combustion of organic substances found in waste materials. This process reduces the volume of the waste by up to 80% and generates heat, which can then be used to produce electricity. It's a two birds, one stone scenario. We manage our waste and generate power at the same time. However, like any method, it has its downsides. Incineration can release harmful pollutants into the air, and it's not the most efficient way to produce energy. But with the application of modern technology, we can minimize these drawbacks. Advanced incinerators are designed to burn waste at high temperatures, which reduces the emission of pollutants. Also, the energy produced can be utilized more efficiently with the right infrastructure in place. Next, let's ponder a more futuristic alternative: space disposal. Yes, you heard it right. The idea is to launch our waste into space. It might sound like a plot out of a sci-fi movie, but it's a concept that scientists have seriously considered. The vastness of space could, in theory, serve as an infinite landfill. But of course, this method comes with its own set of challenges. The cost of launching waste into space is astronomical, and there's also the risk of space debris. In conclusion, while these alternatives are not without their own challenges, they offer a more sustainable and less destructive approach to waste management than dumping trash into volcanoes. As we move forward, the focus should be on reducing waste and recycling as much as possible rather than finding ways to dispose of it. These alternatives might not be perfect, but they're certainly safer and more practical than using volcanoes. So it turns out that dumping our trash into volcanoes isn't such a hot idea after all. The allure of a quick fix to our waste problem is enticing, but in reality, it's not quite that simple. Volcanoes are dangerous, unpredictable, and not designed to handle the sheer volume of waste we produce. Moreover, throwing trash into a volcano could lead to explosive reactions and environmental pollution. Burning trash without filters can release harmful toxins into the air, and not all materials break down completely in lava. Instead of seeking out drastic and potentially harmful solutions, let's focus on more sustainable waste management practices. From harnessing the power of waste incineration for energy generation to exploring the frontiers of space disposal, there are numerous alternatives that pose less risk to our environment. While the idea of using volcanoes as giant trash incinerators might seem appealing, the reality is far more complex and dangerous. Let's keep our trash out of volcanoes and focus on more sustainable solutions.